We are back at it this fine day, so let's see what I can do. So there's a previous video. This is part 2, so let's see what I can figure out about stringing the cable and maybe finishing this up on this particular episode. I have gotten some pull ties. I'm a certified pull tie mechanic here, and I have pulled the airbox up quite a bit. I was surprised how much action I got out of that. You'll find the hardest thing you probably will do, one of the hard things, is getting your geometry right here on this part. It looks like I got quite a bit of throw. I actually have more than I had the other day, but I'm gonna try to do this thing the best I can. Look at that, that's funny. I found an old bulb. No telling how long that's been there. Okay, well, let's just put it there. We'll let it stay here. So let's drill that hole. I found that 5/16 is the size that I need here, and I will once again give a plug to these. You got to be a little careful with them. These, there you go, Irwin step bits, unibit. And so let's slip the valve cover back on to keep the filth out of there, and and drill that 5/16 hole. And I've also determined that you need a bolt here, because if you go through the firewall, this is the original one that my thumbnail's on, and this is the one, this is metric, whatever it is, and because if you don't, this thing's going to poke, this threaded part's going to poke through so flipping far that you're going to lose the adjustment I just showed you. So I measured this, and it's somewhere around 5/16, a little bit more or less. So let's get this going, and I'll see how it does and adjust it. So we'll do that here in a second. Let's go top side. I have the cable in up there, and you can see it right there. See it right there, pointing at it. And it's hand tight for now. And let's talk about this thing, because I'm very surprised at how well this worked out. I thought this cable was going to be far longer, but it's very short. I don't know, just kind of I was imagining it was going to be that way. So, all right, so here we go. Let's see if I can get a little bit more light here. So I've already got this in, and I got a hole right down there. That hole right in the intake manifold, and I'm going to make my bracket and run this thing this way, and our total throw is here, so that's a pretty good long throw. I don't think I need all of that, but I'll take it if I can get it. So I've got this piece of stock right here, and I'm going to go over there and drill a hole in it and twist it and try to get it around this kick down thing and over here, and not in the way of taking the valve cover off either. So let's just kind of see what we do. Now I think I'll go gum up my grinder and grind that edge off a little bit and drill the holes close to the side as possible. And then I need to then I got to get this into there. So interesting. Still don't quite know what this is going to do for me, but I don't know. I don't know. So it's time for some massive fabricating. So we've got it right to here. So now what are you going to do now? So you're going to put a twist in it. It's what you're going to do. That's all you can do. And I'm going to try to get it a little straighter. Thing's got to come almost directly straight up. Almost there. So it doesn't look like I'm going to interfere. Well, you know, got to take stuff off sometimes. So I just put valve cover gaskets on this, so I ain't too worried about it. So I'm going to put my twist down as low as I can get it. And, you know, this is aluminum. And it's easy to deal with, and it's somewhat sturdy, and it can be somewhat tempered if I end up needing that. I don't think that I will, especially as short as this cable is. So there we go. Might even bend a little bit inward more. So let's twist it, and then we'll have to cut a square hole when we get to that point. But I cut this thing a little long. This was a 3-foot piece of stock, because it's when you twist it, you'll reduce the length of it some. I don't think y'all really want to see that, but maybe you do. I don't know. I'll take you back there. Oh, so we're back here now. What was that? Was that a carpenter bee? There's nothing here for you. Well, maybe that piece of wood is what he's after. I don't know. We'll get him. So I've got this in the vise hole drill. I put a little bit more of an angle on that, and now I'm just going to take my. I don't think it matters which way. Just I don't know how to tell you to do this. I'm going to try to twist it as close as I can to that. Let's go with it this way. It don't really matter. So here we go. You know what? Which one's thinner? There's the rest of my stock right there. So I've got these two. So that's a fair bit thinner on the jaws. So that'll give me a little bit closer twist to where this is going to be. So let's okay. Adjusting vice grips, another YouTube spectacular. It don't really need to be clamped in, it just needs to be there enough to give her the old twist. The old peppermint twist here. Okay, now we got it up there. Now we got to get it to 90 degrees. You get it. I need both hands. Well, that's just a beautiful thing, isn't it? Okay. So it'll do. And this gives it a little strength too. So let's go see how it looks. Because now, see, I got it going that way. So I can drill my hole and do a bunch of filing, it looks like, for my cable. This is working out well. Okay, I had to put a little spacer in right there between the manifold and my bracket to be to get it so the kick down, this right here would kick down. So, but watch it move. See, it goes away from it and right up the curl. So I had to get a little bit longer bolt. Woof. Been shooting gas down through the accelerator pump there, and it's kind of gotten a little gassy. Okay, so no fouling there. That's good and finger tight. So now we'll get the old purple Sharpie out. All right. And what we're going to do is we're going to try to get this as straight as possible. So I'm going to line it up here, and there's my dot. Okay. So we're going to know all kinds of things here real soon. So that's my center point. Okay, let me double check her. Yeah, that's my center point right there. Okay. X never marks the spot, does it? Okay. All right. Where are we now? We gotta take this off and all that other stuff. So, all right, that's pretty cool. We'll cut this to fit when we get that bracket in there, make it look better. Powder coated orange or something. Don't think so. Just so you can see it, I got a box called tubes, and anything tubular I put in there. So I'm hoping to find a little bit longer bolt there, but there's the tube I'm using. It's steel, so that ought to be fine. So I'll work on that. Let me find a little bit longer screw. I'd like to have a couple more threads in that. And now what we got to do is get this cut for that, right? And I don't want to take too much material off that, so I'm probably going to have to be doing some hand filing, which means this is going to gum up my files, but that's okay. Looks and sounds kind of thick out there, kind of booming around. Okay, well, let's just see how big I can get here, and then Alright, so there's my little hand file. So let's see how big I gotta go here. It's going to be bigger than that. Okay. Alright, well, you get the drift. So I have it about the right diameter, but the trouble is I gotta cut these corners here. So I'm gonna do that with Dremel here. And I know that AVE and other people feel like that's for 13-year-old boys. Well, sometimes it's for fine work too. I don't have a CNC machine and all that other stuff. So all I gotta do is cut them corners out. So let me mark them and cut them, and we'll see if we can get this thing to go clicky boom in there. I have loaded up and destroyed a couple of Dremel bits. I have found this to be the key, and I think I'm about done. Well, I just really don't want to do this one-handed, but I'll do it. Kind of loud, but it digs right in. Okay, I got to do this two-handed. And here's another way to turn it off, I guess. Get my other hand back. But that's looking like a square hole, ain't it? Okay. Well, I got my initials in there anyway, so that's pretty good. So I got my square hole, and you got to think about the way it goes on. It goes on this way. This would be going toward the front of the vehicle. This would be going toward the back. So you got to push it in this way. Let's see if I can make it go click after a fair amount of machining. Which way? I think I had it one way. Yeah, there we go. You ready? Okay, it ain't going click, and I kind of know why, but it don't really need to. I have to think about it. See, I'll have to cut these little wings back right here a little bit to get it to go click. See those wings? This metal is too thick for that. Okay, well, I got the Dremel to swing it, you know. Bright sunshine and rain. Devil's beating his wife, right? Okay. So here we go. I've cut those back a little bit. Let's see if it clicks now. Click. It wasn't extremely distinctive, but look at that. See, it's hooked in there now. All right, let's take this out of here and take a look at it. That's just next to beautiful, ain't it? It's beautiful enough. Got steel coming out of your thumbs. That's usually, or aluminum coming out. Okay, that's okay with me. So I'm very, very pleased with that. I'm glad I found a new cutting wheel holder too, so I'm very happy about that. So I just didn't. Sometimes you just lose track of stuff. So I'm going to just kind of go. I think I'll go ahead and just cut this off and round it off some. Thundery. So you got to take this out because you don't want to melt this since you went to all trouble to put it in there now, do you? Alrighty, I think we're doing pretty cool here, and I got some blue Loctite on everything. Oh, we gotta get that song off. That's terrible. Weepy 1960s thing. Oh, I think it's terrible. Okay, there we go. So now I can mark this and cut that one. That's a lot to cut off, but that's okay. Okay. Alright, let's cut that off. We got the Dremel back there. So, oh my. Yeah, don't cut it here because you'll just get metal everywhere. We are ready to cut. It's all taped, and I'm going to cut right here at the very edge. So that's how much extra I had. I'm really shocked by that. I don't know. My mind just wasn't thinking. So let's cut them right here. Sparks flew a little bit. Oop. All right. So let's see how we did. Be sure and blow all that dirt out of there. Get some brake clean. Blow it out. Ready? Da-da-da! Okay, So we gotta think about where you want those. I think down there, so I don't know. I had them hung up there high, so I'm gonna just hang them up there high again. Well, maybe I will, maybe I won't. One feels loose. I don't know, I'll tighten that up later. I'll fix all that up in a minute. So be sure and put your outer nut and washer on there. And it goes in there like that. Okay, I don't know if I got her, but yeah, there you go. And then she goes here. 2 hands would be good here. I think I can get her. I'm gonna use 2 hands. Hang on a sec. Y'all can wait right here on the carburetor. It's good for cameras to sit on the carburetor because I gotta pull back on this cable. Oh, you missed it, but that's okay. Okay. Whew. Now, we'll put this sleeve in here that we talked about earlier. Okay. Can't really tell it, but that's pretty cool right there. All right, all right. Look at that, that's groovy. So you gotta make sure you want those spark plug wires up, and I think I do, because I don't want them resting down on the, I need to get some of those header boots, but I never have. But I guess I'm okay. So let me get some pull ties and pull this stuff up. Trying to clean this whole area up here. This is all a mess. I've got to watch that in Daphne. You don't want anything to be messy. Okay. Okay, let's go put the inner bolt on. And put the cable through it. And see where we need to end up on that. Let's put some more linkage on it too. We'll do that right now. Back up under here. I think I'm losing the light there. Let's see if I can get that a little brighter. I think I need to change my battery. Okay, so I've got that all tightened up there. And I've got my inner cable ready to feed into it. I'm certainly going to use 2 hands for that. And we're going to hook this in with this little pin. And I might just get a cloth or something and put here. I'll show you. I have some pivotal information here. So I've got this hooked up right here. I don't know, let's see if I can get that a little better. Maybe I can zoom in a little bit. So there's the cable going through the wall, but see, it don't rock very much, so that's not very pivotal. So if you go all the way back, see, it tortures the cable back here. So I guess I'm going to take that out and machine it. Does it always have to be something? Okay, I'll just put that there. I'll remember it, don't worry. Just got it in there too. So what's happening is right here, let me back off a little bit. What's happening is right here is hitting the pivot arm. So let's go cut that back, I guess. Okay. Oh, sheesh. You'd think they would tell you them things. I can see how it got machined. See, it's got a bevel to it, and they just swipe that billet piece here through a thing, and then you got your thing. So I'm gonna have to cut these edges off, both of them. Oh, what a pain. Just do it nice and slow. I got the Dremel back here. See what I mean? I've had to cut that side back, and that's got that big ridge on it, so I think that'll give us, this will pivot better, obviously. So let's just keep cutting on that. I'm just cutting it with the wheel on the end of a Dremel right there. I'm just cutting it with that. There you go. It almost focused. Okay, well, you know what I mean. So there they are. They're both beveled, so let's put it back in there and see if that helps some. So I stuck a cloth underneath the foot to make sure the arm is back, and I got it in the second notch there, and that's about as good as I think I'm going to get. So now we can go out here, and I can play with that if I need to. I cut enough out of there. There's the old system. If you want to look at it all together, see where it had that ball that floated in there. And then there's that bracket I had to cut out. And that fibrous washer, and then the fiber washer here. So it only worked for 65 years, you know. Not too bad. Okay, well, let's go back up here, top side, and see what we've got here. So there's my bracket and everything. So now, that's a pretty good shot. Now, I can bring that over some if I needed to, just to make it a little bit more ouch. A little bit more ouch will work. That's pretty straight. I'm okay with that. You know what you could do though? I could put a spacer back here instead of pushing that over and kinking this more. I could push this out so it gives you all this extra thread here. So I'll move this out. All right, I want this to be as fine as frog hair here. I don't want any binding or anything. Daphne gets out of control, it wouldn't be pretty. Boy, it is really stormy out there. That is just really cool. Look, ooh, look at that. That's west too, west. Yeah, well, got a patch of blue. All right, that's very stormy. Okay, well, I don't know, I should have put this bracket here further back, because I don't have enough throw to go full throttle like I'm going to be doing that. So I took that nut right there out of here. I drilled another hole further back into this piece. I made an extension here, and so now I've got full throw. And I guess that's just something, that was a warning here. You got to get that bracket further back. So it's okay though. So here we go, full throttle. And I had to cut a little bit of plastic off of here to get what I wanted to. But you know, you got to have full throttle. Might get a zombie going after you or something. So that's it. That's exactly it right there. So that's full throttle. Okay. All right. What's that gunk down in there? It's all kind of stuff messing me up around this place. A piece of silicone in there, that ain't good. Okay, so let's we got to cut this cable now, so we got to come all the way down, make sure we're that and a little bit more. But like I said on the previous video, you got plenty of adjustment here. Let's put that on this way because the set screw will be setting on the outside. All right, you got to think of stuff like that. So let me get my purple pen out, and I'm going to solder this and then cut it with a Dremel and kind of make it so I can form it a little bit. Let's see how far up this goes up in there. Okay, let's just take a look. So it goes up about that far. That's a ton of way. Right there, I guess I'm in frame, yeah, okay. So, let's make sure we just make a habit of putting this on correctly. So, I'm thinking right about there. Okay, let's do that. Okay, we've got a little bit of red ruby right here. We got the soldering iron all hot. We're going to melt that in and solder in some, okay? Just trust me on this. That's why I use this real thin stuff. Rosin core and I don't know what, it's just real tiny stuff. It just goes right in there. And I'm going to cut her right about there. So let's go get some tape and mark that. Okay, tape, got it. All right, this is an important time here. Let's turn this on. Turn it up a little bit. I think I can do this one-handed. Maybe get a few sparks out of it. Put my fingers there. And just lift it on down there. And there you have it. Take it over to the grinder and just kiss it around the edges. Well, there it is. Raindrops. Big old storm. It won't last long. Now that I say that, it'll be hours, but... Okay, I've been putting back together here. We'll talk about it when we can, when you hear me. I got a lot of that linkage put back together, and I'm working on it down here. So, I'll show you in a minute. We're about ready to run the test here, but look what I found. I found a brake pad in my stash, and it fits my pedal. That'll be nice. We're gonna dress it up right. Let's fill it up with a bunch of goo and stick it on there, hey. Let's see what kind of travel we get here. Ooh, that focused and everything. Okay, let's see what happens. And then look what I got. Went up and got the keys. So let's see what this looks like. We'll do our final thing here. Okay, did that go all the way? Let me stop it and see. It's almost 6. I gotta go. All right, let me stop it and see what happened. Okay, well, let's jump up in here, and I know she's flooded to all get out, but there's all back together. And look at this. Oh, I got one other thing to hang on. Okay, I'm all set now. So let's turn the battery on. Let's turn the lights on. I think that's fan and that's lights. That's fan. This is lights. Okay, there's lights, and there's my new fancy changer right there. Hey, it works, yay! And my things in here work, okay. Dashboard light works. Okay, so let's see, I don't know how she's gonna crank. I'm in that, I got my brake on that I moved. Okay. There's the fuel pump going. Okay, let's see how she does here. Wasn't as bad as I thought. Woo! That just seemed as natural as could be right there. I saw the throttle I'm gonna need. I checked the oil, 60 pounds. That's cool. Well, that, my friends, is a wrap. Don't that look cool? And shiny. That is smooth. Got about the right amount of play in it. See, she moves a little bit before she goes. I wish she was a little tighter, but I tightened it up. Boy, I gotta tell you, it was a pain getting that set screw on the back on this thing. Woo! Boy, I had to bend an Allen key and everything. So I'm gonna walk through it one more time. I gotta pull this carpet back out and treat all that rust under there. Okay, so that's gonna be I love it. I gotta tell you, I just plain love it. All right. Well, that'll be a wrap, and maybe some just minor adjusting, but I'm happy underneath here, and I don't have to do anything else under the dashboard other than treat the rust. So, give us a thumbs up and subscribe. And I got a lot of BMW to work. She stalled out on me the other day in traffic. I was kind of surprised by that. So I'm going to clean the MAF air, blah, 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 you know what I mean. And look, smoker out, look for leaks in the intake system. I hope it's not the intake manifold, but that'll be tomorrow, Saturday, so that means at 9 o'clock on MeTV, I'll be watching Bugs Bunny cartoons. And then after that, I'll get the BMW over here, back on the lift here. And don't have to worry about the interior lights because you got to turn them on manually, so I don't care about that. Okay, well, let's turn everything off and call this a day. I've been out here. This is hours. Let me think. Probably took me, I'd say 6 hours, maybe 5 hours of working, somewhere around there, but only because I had to fabricate stuff. And but there's the final look at it. And I got my spring hooked up to a hose clamp, of course. What else would you do? And that's fine with me. It's a very direct pull. So there it is, final shot. And we'll get this creeper out here tomorrow because I've got to go in. There's a storm, another storm coming. So I got to get out of this place. All right. Talk to you later. Thanks for watching. Thanks for spending some time with me. I appreciate it so much. Bye-bye.